Hollywood. Ball Wayne's my favorite song. You know, when I play it in my car, it's super loud.
Guns it. Sanders in a pocket. Oh, what a catch. Travis Hunter, give him the Heisman now.
My job is to come out and be Travis Hunter, come out and play how they envision me to play and, you know, exceed all the expectations. I mean, in the pros, it's a lot different. You know, all I got is football. In college, I had to manage school, football, and, you know, personal life. But, you know, I had a good team around me. So in college, it was kind of easy to me. You know, I pretty much, you know, focused on football, but I did my schoolwork. And, you know, in the pros, it's going to be the same way for me, but I don't have schoolwork. So I can go my 24 hours and nothing but football.
Goal. Here's McCord trying to win it for Syracuse. Gives it to Allen. Allen is stopped by Woodard. Still going. No! He gets through. Allen gets through. He wins the game.
Look out. There goes two. No flags. Touchdown.
With the 200th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Rayon Lane III, defensive back, Navy.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome into a fresh week of Jaguar musings here. Jaguars Today is off and rolling. I'm Mike Dempsey. Tony Smith, good morning. How are you?
Doing well.
How's your weekend?
It was good, yeah.
Yeah, anything? What's the highlight of the Tony Smith weekend?
Highlight of the weekend. Not a whole lot going on.
No?
No.
Told me you had quite a project you were working on.
I had an idea for a story, for a book, and I started working on it this weekend. I got about 2,500 words written.
Dylan, my man, just threw 2,500 words down this weekend.
Yeah, you sound like that's like a Tuesday for you.
Like,
No. Like, it's a rare thing when something strikes me like that, but, you know, it's only a couple chapters of a book. We'll see where it winds up.
Huh.
Yeah.
Have you written a book before, published or not?
Not the whole thing. Like, I've had a bunch of ideas over the years.
Okay.
You know, that kind of thing. But
a couple of chapters of a book, Dylan. What did you do this weekend that was constructive?
Well, your boy had a track meet Friday right after the show.
And how did that work? Did you make it on time?
So I beeline straight to UNF. It's about 12 minutes down the road. I barely get there, run to the spot. I'm out of breath. I mean, the boys, I literally get to the bleachers. And the boys are down in the blocks, and they get around the track, and we're running 41.9. That's a school record, so that's pretty good. So you got to wait for the next heat to see where we place.
Yeah.
First place got 41.4. Second place got 41.9. Third place got 42, and then we just went ballistic from there. So we got third place in the 4x1. Yeah, you know the phrase "act like you've been there before." That did not go with me. Or my team, because we went ballistic.
Next time, you don't have to act. You've been there.
Yeah.
Right?
So we got third place in the 4x1, ninth place.
In the state?
Yeah, in the whole state. Ninth place in the 4x4. So my goal was to get top 8 for any event. We got third. So say I'm proud of the boys was underachieving.
I had the privilege last year of Dylan being up in the booth when they came to town for the Bowls game. Right? That was the whole issue with them just getting there on the bus, but they finally got there. Then we had the storm that started the game, so we had a delay. But I had the privilege of watching Dylan reacting to his football team doing anything on the field. I can't imagine what was happening over there during the track meet this weekend. That would have been fun.
I can't read you the text I got from him on Friday. Okay. Happy Mother's Day indeed. The mothers were mentioned, but it wasn't the kind that you're thinking of. So that's amazing. I mean, you did say any event, just get eighth, get a point, you know, kind of go down in the record books, and you finish third. So like the bronze medal in the 4x100. That's a big event, the 4x100, man.
Yeah, and especially, last year we got third, and we ended up getting DQ'd, so the kids were, the two that were on the team last year, they were running around. I said, go get your third place medal that you should have got last year, which the coaches laughed at. But, yeah, it was great, man. I'm proud of them.
That's awesome, bro. That is awesome. And then I saw Dylan on Saturday at the mini camp for the Jaguars, rookie mini camp out there. I saw that, and every bug, Tony, every no-see-em in the world, they're all on me. I got to wonder, am I not is my soap or my shampoo not working
Someone
properly?
put something in the sunscreen as a joke?
I don't know. Well, it was overcast. I didn't even have any sunscreen on, and those no seams were. I had a white shirt on, and they were all over me, man. It was crazy, like just crawling all over what little hair I have and whatnot. But it's good to see our guy Travis Hunter out there.
No doubt.
And Travis Hunter could sneeze, and the entirety of Duval County is going, God bless you, Travis. Can I get you a tissue?
Yeah.
I mean, they just wanted to see our man out there on the field, rocking the number 12, and, with that ear-to-ear grin that he's had, and I know some folks got to go out there Friday. I did not. The media was invited to Saturday's session, so a bunch of the 1010XL crew rolling deep out there as we usually do, but good to see him and all the other guys out there as well.
Outside of, maybe some of the quarterback stuff at rookie minicamp this weekend, depending on the spot, especially maybe out in New Orleans in particular, with their current quarterback situation, Hunter doing anything is going to draw the whole football watching country's attention. Right? Like, it's not just Jacksonville that's going to be at practice going, hey, he sneezed, right? Like pointing when it happens.
Right.
It's, the videos.
He sneezed on offense this time.
Like any video that's out there of him running a route at some point is going to be somewhere today on whoever's covering the NFL today. If they show anything from this weekend, I imagine Travis Hunter dancing could potentially be on there.
No, I mean, look, he lights up the space he's in, man. He's got that magnetic smile, and, he's got that crazy ability. He's got legs that are skinnier than a fifth grader's, but, hey, you know what? They've served him well up to this point in time. I mean, Dylan Denmark looks thick next to Travis Hunter, let me just say. And Dylan is a slim, trim man. By the way, the lead, considered officially buried. Tony Baselli, Jaguars executive vice president, is scheduled to join the program. I say scheduled because, things can come up in the life of an executive vice president, but an hour and 10 minutes from now at 11:15 a.m. Eastern time, Tony's going to join us, and we'll grill him. Just want to see what it's been like the first couple months in the job, some of the challenging decisions he's been a part of, and expectations for this football team, and on and on and on. So we'll look forward to our conversation with Tony coming up. Tone, I know our Tony saw this like I did, a post that Travis Holmes brought to the forefront. Some lady had posted this on Facebook regarding Travis Hunter, right? And it said, I had the most wonderful flight home from Denver. Met the nicest young man who sat next to me. He offered to put my bag in the overhead compartment, helped me with my tray. He was always polite, saying yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am. Anyone would be proud to have him as a son or grandson. So polite. People walking by were saying, congratulations, great job, or even taking pictures. I turned around and asked, who am I sitting next to? She didn't know. I looked at his Jaguar pants, smiled, and asked, are you an athlete? He said, yes, I'm Travis. Yes, I was drafted by the Jags, and I already told my sons I want his jersey. He's so humble and down to earth. I would have never have guessed he was a professional athlete. Jacksonville Jags, you did good. I will be buying tickets. United Airlines, thank you for my seat assignment. So, and there's Travis. He's not like, I got to be first class. He's just traveling around, man, being Travis Hunter and being a lightning rod of positivity, right? So that gets picked up as Travis Holmes tweeted that out. That got picked up by several others and got spread around, as the social media platforms tend to do, where someone called Brown/Cavs superfan, who's having a bad week, let's admit, right? Yeah. I mean, the Cavs on the brink of elimination as the 1 seed. Donovan Mitchell's hurt. It's not a good week for Browns Cavs superfan. But at Brownsland _ is went with quote tweeting this and saying, we traded him away for a fat slob throwing up at practice. Cancel the season. And the fat slob he's referring to is Mason Graham, who apparently vomited all over his own helmet on the sidelines. No video. Dylan, you have not been able to come up with a video of that yet, have you?
No, sir.
All right. Good work on that. We need a full Mason Graham vomit video. This is what we could have had, Jag fans. Hey, whether it's true. Mason, is that you? whether he may turn out to be a multi-time All-Pro, I don't know what Mason Graham's going to be.
One day at a rookie minicamp, yeah.
Damn, could you imagine if Mason Graham was at our minicamp puking all over the place and huffing and puffing, and we'd be like, all right, Jaguar Duval, we're excited for football.
All right.
We traded him away for a fat slob throwing up at practice. Cancel the season, say the Browns. All right.
I would count that as one of the fans that's not over it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And yes, you don't tell, but you got an extra first-round pick next year. Yes, to go along with the fat slob who can't keep his lunch down. Okay. Yeah. And they tried to pass out. They said, well, we have a really good team meal. He might have eaten too many wings. Okay. Or maybe he's not just ready for it. It's funny. Ted McMillan. See Ted McMillan?
Yeah, the heat.
I'm getting used to this humidity. Bro, it's May. And you better be glad you didn't come to Duval, buddy, because between the mugginess and the bugginess, Tone.
Carolina's not a whole lot better, but it's a little lighter up there.
It gets humid as hell in the Carolina.
I mean, I remember Fred Taylor came on The Drill a couple months ago, and he was, I don't know if it was The Drill or if it was his own podcast, The Pivot, and he was like, guys will get, when they get to training camp, talking about how it gets hot in New England. He's like, man, y'all ain't got a clue what Florida heat is.
You have no idea what in New England it gets hot. Like, come on, what are we talking? I'm sure it does to them. Right. Come down here and roast. I mean, and it's true. You go out west, so you go out to Arizona, and people, it's a dry heat. It's true. I mean, the humidity makes it so much worse.
For sure.
Than just
around here, you can go outside and feel like you're just walking through a pool some days. Like it does get to that point.
That's just the way it is.
It is. It just sticks to you. That's the way it is.
So we had Travis Hunter bopping around, doing all kinds of offensive things. He'll get on the field, according to Liam Cohen. He made these public comments, and we're trying to be careful. They don't want you to report on formations and things like that. This was not a practice about that. This was a practice to come on out and catch a little aura from Travis Hunter. That's all it was. And this is not to disparage Caleb Ransaw or Wyatt Milam, Basil Tootin, any of these guys. Kaiser had some nice words said about him by the head coach, but we know where all the eyes are going to go early on here.
Yeah, we've had the opportunity to talk to plenty of former players, right, doing this show and doing what we do. And the thing I hear most often about these kinds of things, rookie minicamp, OTAs, that kind of thing, what you'll learn talking to the veteran players is they show up, they watch everyone doing whatever they're doing, and they get an idea of player, not a player, right? Like they form those ideas quick in their head when they're around them. And it's when you bring somebody in and that it goes quick in your head, where those alarm bells start going off. He's like, why are they here? Right? Like, and players will talk about that. They won't talk about it directly to the other player that they may be talking about, but they'll be talking to each other about that kind of thing. So you walk away from a weekend like this, and it's like, no warning bells have I heard from anybody. So I'm like, it's a good weekend.
No.
Right?
I mean, Dylan, even at one point, everyone's just out there running routes.
Yeah,
and
there's not much to see. Like, even that doesn't really come into play till the OTA.
Right. He's running, Dylan was like a 15-yard crosser, something like that, and just kind of reached out in front of him, plucked the ball with his hands, and Dylan's just like, yeah, that's different. Right? How did you describe? I mean, he looks a little bit different, and he should in this environment, particularly against you got a bunch of undrafted.
Yeah, I mean, most guys, your standard is you catch the ball and then you tuck it. But the guys that are different are like usually the ones that catch and they pluck it away immediately. Like you're like, yeah, that's different than everybody else.
Yeah.
Blackman had that in spades.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Don't tell Ryan O'Halloran.
Right. Like I can still remember that first preseason game when he got on the field and you were watching him play football in a Jaguars uniform, really play football in a Jaguars uniform the first time. The way he caught the ball, you're like, it's here.
Those hands sucked it in. Yeah.
It's here.
Well,
and guys occasionally show up that have that kind of thing, and when it does, you kind of marvel at it. If you're a football fan, you just kind of go, wow, it's different.
So, I mean, we're going to chronicle this the whole way to the point where you're probably one day going to be sick of hearing about Travis Hunter, right? I mean, but, when has a potential...
No. Everyone else will be sick about hearing
Maybe
about
not
Travis
Duval?
Hunter. Not here.
All right, good. All right. Well, I'm just setting myself up for lower expectations. But, look, I mean, obviously a unique and rare player.
Yes.
We'll see. And why not? Let's lean into that uniqueness and that rareness.
So you have a reason not to.
Absolutely. We'll hear a little bit from Travis Hunter. as he spoke after practice. Here's some from the head coach, Liam Cohen, coming up as well. Today's Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. If you want to get one in for Boselli, okay, we will ask a listener question to Tony Baselli, right? We're going to choose the one, but that's our question today. If you could ask Tony one thing, send that to us, and you got a chance to have that selected to be. We pretty much know the path we're going to go down with Tony today. And again, he's going to join us just about an hour from now, the executive vice president of your Jacksonville Jaguars, and of course, a Pro Football Hall of Famer, Tony Baselli, part of the remake of this Jaguar front office and team in from top to bottom, really, with the exception of a handful of key players. It's going to be so much new here in Duval. So we'll look forward to that coming up. You want to get in the meantime, talk Jaguar football with us, you're certainly welcome to do that. 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone line, 641-1010 on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Hop in the YouTube virtual studio, and you can post in the chat there as well, or on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, baby.
Apparently, legend has it, old Denmark might have had a few claws on Friday night to celebrate.
Six of them.
A couple. Yeah, he was. I think he might have had a few more on Saturday night too. Because good thing we had a late tea time yesterday, Dylan, and it all worked out. We were able to sweat it out. We got it all in. We got the full 18 in. Only a sprinkle on the driving range pre-round. I was very happy about that. All right, so we're off and rolling. Let's hear from the head coach and the new star rookie two-way player, Travis Hunter, when we return. Tony Baselli, an hour away, joining Jaguars Today live this morning with Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark. I'm Mike Dempsey. This is Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. The race is on.
They're side by side.
It's NASCAR's All-Star Race at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Sunday night. Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. From the station with the most horsepower. 1010XL.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
DUI, don't stress. Call me Malcolm Anthony at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW for Malcolm Anthony.
What does your dream backyard look like? Hey, it's Joe C. and my friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can design an outdoor kitchen layout custom built to your taste and lifestyle. You dream it, they can build it. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Visit cssoutdoor.com.
Jaguars Today.
It's a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Spring has sprung, and so have the bugs. It's Hayes Carline and my friends at Kingfish Pest Control offer an exclusive $99 spring special. That's right, your initial pest control service is just $99. And if you call today, they'll include a free one-time mosquito treatment. Kingfish Pest Control is family-owned, 5-star rated with no binding contracts, and 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call them now to book your service. Only at Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The housing market is as busy as ever on the First Coast. And if you've moved in or moved on, make sure you have a team of trained electricians ready to help. American Electrical can make sure you're up to date electrically and maximize your living experience. Smart home automation services, home theater systems, outdoor and dock lighting, and backup generators. American Electrical can do it all. A team you can trust with highly trained technicians, ensuring you have the best living experience. American-Electrical.com, a leader on the First Coast and powered by professionalism.
She's seen and heard all over 1010XL's video and social channels.
Whether the big cats are at the bank or on the road, I'm there too. Follow my updates all season long, on air and online.
All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota.
Living on Amelia Island? Having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Are you ready to play this summer? At the First Coast YMCA, we're committed to being your home for health and wellness and a place for friendly competition with team sports for adults and for kids. Basketball, volleyball, pickleball, flag football, soccer. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Discover all the benefits of YMCA membership and find your fun this summer at the Y. Registration for team sports and summer camps is open now. Visit fcymca.org.
If you're heading to the Og or you're already part of the nation's oldest, don't forget to drop into Sunset Grill. For over 30 years, serving up great chowder, seafood, wings, and cold beer. Sunset Grill, somewhere on A1A, St. Augustine Beach.
Need cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash, and they're ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. And gold market prices are at a record high. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, NFL schedule officially will come out. It will drop, Tony. That's what Dylan tells me. It will drop on Wednesday. And we're hearing that Cowboys-Eagles will be the Thursday night opener. Always going to be the defending Super Bowl champs. You want a marquee matchup for that first one. And, you know, Dallas brings a lot of eyeballs regardless. It seems like a waste. Who's not going to watch Thursday night football?
Yeah, I know.
If you've got the ability, on the opening week, if you've got the ability to watch it. Right? Yeah. What is it going to be, an Amazon Prime deal again?
Nah, that week one's usually that.
Oh, that's right.
Whatever it is, NBC.
Yeah, that's right.
They get the doubleheader that week. They'll get Thursday and Sunday.
Okay. Yeah. So, so like you could put the most, you know, Carolina or whomever, you know, the Jaguars in that sense. Like, I'm not trying to, you know, it's just teams that wouldn't draw a huge national audience yet. You wait until Travis
but I think like
unleashed.
that's kind of the NFL way with that Thursday night opener.
Oh, it is.
Seems, you know, like last year it was Kansas City and
they always pick
Baltimore.
2 years ago,
yeah,
Detroit.
something like that. Right?
Yeah,
they always try to pick a
like it's a premium
matchup.
to
I
open
get
up
it.
the season, yeah,
and they're paying for that, right? But again, like. Thursday Night Football, what are you going to do? You're going to, I didn't get Dallas in this one. I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, every
NFL fan's watching that. And then the Chargers will play in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Yes.
And we'll have Cristiano reporting on that one for us, for sure, South American producer. And they apparently, when you play this game, and maybe that's the case, you know, I'm sure with the Jags as well, you can protect a couple of games when you're hosting an international game. And they opted not to protect any of their division rivals because they come there every year And they had Pittsburgh coming in and Philadelphia coming in and Washington coming in. So the speculation is they protected 2 of those 3 games. And so can it be the Kansas City Chiefs? So you're trying to catch them in the division. You're giving up your home game against them because I don't think the Sao Paulo crowd is going to be pro-Charger necessarily. You know what I mean? It's
Probably not. Yeah.
It's like a Pro Bowl crowd kind of situation. But so they're going to start to trickle in. We've heard speculation that the Jags will be hosting the Rams in London, and we'll see, man.
We'll see. Yeah.
It's
a couple days.
Exactly. I'm quite content to spend Thursday and part of Friday breaking down the schedule, and we'll see what it brings.
Especially for like the London thing, right? Like I can understand fans that have like season tickets and they want to figure out what their schedule is going to look like. Like I got to figure it out for this week and that week, like that kind of thing. And road trips, for the fans. So I don't know how much they have anything circled necessarily on that calendar yet, but they have an idea of where they want the road trips to be. But when they're playing there can have an impact on all those kind of things. But one of the games is going to be in London. I don't know that there's any of the home matchups necessarily for the Jags this year that you feel all that passionate about blocking. If they wind up playing it in London, is there any of those that it's like, well, we can't let them have that one? I last time glancing at it, I didn't really feel that way about it.
All right, let's see. Opponents. Apparently I open this page often, it tells me, on the old computer platform here. All right, see. Home opponents. Tony, we've got the division. We got the Chiefs, right? You got these. That's one. And I wonder if you're making the Chiefs go to Brazil, you're probably not making them go to London as well. Yeah. You got the Chargers. The Rams are another one. So that's the one we've been talking about. The Seahawks, the Jets, and the Panthers. I mean, and in terms
Kansas City to some small degree, but
I think there's a cachet with the Kansas City Chiefs rolling into your building, but at the same time, do you want Kansas City Chiefs fans rolling into your building?
Sure.
Any of them. I don't want any fans rolling into our building but Jaguar fans, but you can't completely control that. I mean, Carolina is, I would think, the least attractive draw, right? Just in terms of the sheer number of fans they have. It is a close enough proximity that their fans can drive down if you're looking at that kind of thing. If you're from the Jaguar perspective, trying to, fill out some ticket sales. But I've told you several times, I'm hoping that's September, whatever the date. That's the home opener. That's the week 1. Let's get off to a good start. And, of course, the downside of that is you lose to the Panthers in week 1. It's only going to get tougher from there. So one thing we know, we'll have Travis Hunter in some capacity. I heard what Jeff Prosser said this morning. It's kind of interesting. I do, now that he said it kind of agree ceremonially. It'd be fun to officially have the first ever box score of Travis Hunter and have him listed as a starter on both sides of the ball.
That
right?
would be cool.
It would be kind of right that he's going to be a starter on offense. He's going to be one of the starting wide receivers. Will he be? Now, that's to say, if Jarian Jones goes out and has a hell of a camp, I don't think you say, hey, Jarian, we're necessarily going to just do this because he hasn't earned it.
Because it's cool.
Right. Yeah. But it would be kind of a cool thing, nonetheless, to see him in there. He's going to play plenty. Here's Travis Hunter. This kind of a mishmash of comments after practice on Saturday, and then we'll tell you what he was talking about.
I've been already getting integrated to the defense. I've been doing offense and defense. The last past 2 days, I just came out here and did offense. The organization expected a lot out of me. Expect me to come out here and play right away, so I'm going to do whatever it takes for me to get out there and play right away. I got to be authentic, got to bring the energy up out here. Make sure everyone is having fun, with a smile on their face and doing what we love.
Look, he's not a long answer guy, which is fine, right? He answers your question. He does it with a smile on his face. He's got a spring in his step. He's got otherworldly talent. Doesn't guarantee he's going to have a Hall of Fame professional career, but let's hope that he does. But he was talking, obviously getting acquainted with the defense. The way he made it sound, Tone, in some of his comments, that this is something that it's not that complicated. I got to study this offense, but it's something that he thinks is going to be pretty easy. Here's, in fact, what he said on if it had been different at this level to learn 2 playbooks. Not so much different. You just have to get used to it. A lot of different types of calls. But other than that, the defense is pretty easy. You just have to get used to the offense. So his learning curve is coming on, concepts, as he said. The play calls are longer. It's just a different language that you're speaking than you were speaking in college.
Yeah, and look, this is all so early, right, in the process that whatever bumps are going to be in the road with any of this, I'm not surprised he hadn't found them yet, right? Like, that doesn't surprise me at all.
It's rookie minicamp.
Right.
I mean, come on.
And I do think he's a confident player. He's been a confident guy for a long time now. So he's going to carry that confidence in everything that he does. I'm not surprised at all that he would approach it that way. And that if we do, once we get into OTAs and training camp and these different things, at some point you ask him this kind of question again, and he gives you a specific answer about this is where the challenge has been for me, right? But until that challenge approaches him, in some sense, I think this is what I expect out of him, for him to be like, I love this, right? Like, none of this is a challenge necessarily to me because I love it. Like, the whole process of this, I'm into it. That's the way that he's approached it the whole time.
Just, I don't want to keep him in bubble wrap, but, man, I just hope everything goes the next 4 months, get us to opening day with this guy ready to explode on the National Football League. And look, again, will it all happen immediately? Maybe not. But I bet you'll see it. I bet you'll see flashes of it right away on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, he's a talented enough player.
I mean, he's so ridiculously talented, right? Or otherwise, he wouldn't be talked about.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that we got that guy.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily always the guy that we get. Again, there's value in alignment. There's no question about it. And Mason Graham may turn out to have a hell of a career. But I don't want to be sitting here today talking about, it's no big deal that he threw up all over his helmet at his first rookie minicamp.
Right.
And Travis Hunter's out there bouncing around like a human pogo stick.
Yeah, we've had not exactly that experience with guys before, but close enough to it that we know what that is, right? That we've drafted a corner here recently that he looked like someone had stabbed him, right, when he got drafted. Like, there was no excitement, no juice. Any of that was C.J. Henderson while he's sitting there getting drafted. The whole room's going nuts around him, and he just looks like he's at a funeral. It was such an odd thing, and we were all like, well, maybe that's his personality, right? Like, that's the way we had to react to that almost necessarily. The Jags have had that kind of thing before. They don't have to deal with Cleveland has had that kind of thing before, too, and that's why that fan that you mentioned earlier in Cleveland reacted the way he did. He knows what this pain is.
We've seen a House of Pain, right?
Like, he expects
Factory of Sadness,
like,
whatever
he
they call it.
expects the team, when they have an opportunity to punch him in the nose. That's what he's anticipating from the team, right? Like, that kind of thing. So when they do it, and he recognizes it, he points it out, he's like, here, they're doing it to me again. Jacksonville hasn't had a whole lot of the, look at him. Like, the flight stuff.
We avoided a swift kick in the giblets.
Yeah, that woman posted that on Facebook talking about the interaction with him on that flight. Like, all these different things, the energy that he brings, the personality that he has. He's going to play both ways in the National Football League. We're not used to this in Jacksonville. So when we see it, you're darn right we're going to celebrate it as much as we possibly can until you give us a reason not to. I'm not slowing down.
Tony Baselli, Executive Vice President of the Jags, 45 minutes away from joining the program this morning. When we return in a moment, how about Liam Cohen speaking about whom else but Travis Hunter after practice? Not like he got up there and said, hey, let me tell you about Travis Hunter. He got a lot of Travis Hunter questions, and you'll hear what he had to say about that first rookie minicamp going down for the new coaching staff, new front office, a lot of newness around the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hopefully that results in a new era of winning football for the team as well. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark here with you. We'll hear from Liam Cohen when we return in a moment. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. I'll tell you what, keep your windows closed right now. That rain blowing all over the place, but I am proud to have Pella Windows and Doors in my own home. Needed a change, had a broken window. It was time. I had the original house windows that were about 40 years old in there, replaced everything, the sliding glass door, and never looked back with Pella. The best in the business right now. 0% financing for 60 months, 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway, just north of Bay Meadows. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
Every day is a perfect day for football on Jacksonville's football station. Just lock your radio on 1010XL to get your year-round football fix. 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service.
Mia here. You know, people typically start and end their day by visiting their closet. So shouldn't that space feel calm, organized, like a little moment of luxury? That's why I chose Closets by Design. They specialize in custom solutions for every lifestyle and budget. Call them this week to schedule your free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus another 15% off and free installation. Don't wait for mom to do it. Call now at 1-800-293-3744 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Call 904-500-COOL. Ideal conditions.
Want to support a locally and veteran-owned company? If you need a new AC, we should be your first and only call. Ideal Conditions keeps you cool. Just ask your AC. Call 904-500-COOL or visit idealconditionsjacks.com.
Call 904-500-COOL.
Honk if you see us. Call for service.
Ideal Conditions.
Idealconditionsjacks.com.
It's Work Zone Awareness Week, Florida. Every year, lives are lost in work zones because of speeding and distractions. When you see orange cones, remember, slow down, follow the signs, and stay focused. Workers are counting on you to get home safely, and so are their families. Let's work together to prevent crashes and save lives. A safety reminder from the Florida Department of Transportation. Slow your roll. Safety's the goal.
Dreamfinders Homes, Monday.
On Jaguars Today.
Pizza to Tea here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes through in the clutch? From lunch to late night, only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Stick around after the sunset, and Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Come on, somebody.
Okay, sports fans, Hicken here. Let's talk skin. I and Beaches Dermatology are reminding you all to wear your sunscreen. Spring is here, and that means more time outside. Grabbing the clubs for your tea time? Bring the screen. Heading out on the boat? Bring the screen. Headed to the beach? Definitely bring the sunscreen. All in all, make sure sunscreen is included in your outdoor activities. If you have any concerns now, give Beaches Dermatology a call. I've been seeing them for years, and my skin thanks me for it. Call today online at beachesdermatology.com.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Kuhn Flowers floral or plant arrangement. This is Max Fink with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Kuhn Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at kuhnflowers.com.
Takes home the Wanamaker Trophy.
The defending champion says,
Hear updates and coverage of the PGA Championship. Driven by St. John's Middle School Athletic Association and TopDressing.com. Follow the leaders on 1010XL.
what Major League Baseball team has never been to a World Series? The answer next.
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The Seattle Mariners, who were founded in 1977, have never been to the World Series.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hacker here, and let's talk sincerity. You know, there's a big difference between someone tossing you a casual, hey, how you doing, and genuinely asking, no, really, how are you doing? At Awaken 180, I felt that sincerity every single week while dropping 122 pounds, and I still feel it every month in free maintenance for life. Sure, seeing that number plunge on the scale was incredible. But what truly pushed me across the goal line? My amazing Awaken 180 coaches. They coached me up like I was prepping for draft day. Always in my corner, sincerely invested in my success. And check this out. I'm going on a cruise in a couple of weeks, complete with formal night. Now, normally, cameras and I have a strained relationship. I hated taking pictures. But thanks to Awaken 180, the camera and I have made peace. No more ducking photos. Want results you can actually keep? Do what we all did and call 844-346-1800 or book online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Catch Gators baseball all season long on 1010XL. Pitched by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. And Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Florida Gators. 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, Tone. I am pleased to announce, on a personal note, that I have acquired 2 shares of Basil Tootin in my 5 Dynasty leagues.
Yeah.
Only one Travis Hunter, man. You got to pay through the nose to get Travis Hunter.
No doubt.
We had one Dynasty league, fantasy league, that rebooted. Right, we started out as a 32-team league, 2 16-team conferences. Over the year, you get a little bit of attrition, and then some rosters kind of fall apart. So we rebooted the whole thing this year, and we're doing 2 12-team conferences. And so I was able to get Travis Hunter with the last pick of round 2, the 212 in that one. And this is a league where we get points for everything he does on defense as well, which makes me wonder why he's available with the last pick of round 2. Right, I get all the offensive and defensive points every game out of the guy. Anyway, and then I traded up to get Tootin, and like 3 or 4 picks later, Jaden Blue, the Cowboy rookie running back, went. So I'm thinking Tootin would not have lasted much longer. I'm very pleased with myself right now.
Nice.
Acquiring some young Jaguar playmakers. Had to make another trade after the rookie draft to acquire Tootin in another league, and I paid. But, I believe, Manny. Dylan, what do you think? I mean, it's hard to see anything. Like, I'm not making any projections on these guys, but I'm just talking about the eyeball test of what Tootin looks like. I felt like he looked a lot more stout maybe than I expected him to. He's a shorter player, right? But in terms of thickness and that, he doesn't look like a guy that's going to have any problem carrying whatever load they want to put on him.
No, and I mean, before we saw him on Saturday, I mean, it would not have been surprising if we're forecasting a couple months to the season, we're saying, okay, he's going to be a starter, after week 11, week 10. And then you see him, it's like, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I
can.
can.
It's kind of affirm what we thought.
Right, and again, they're not doing anything but ladder drills and things like that, catching a few balls out of the backfield. It's nothing crazy. Seth Hennigan threw the ball pretty well, I thought. As far as that went, just a good. I feel like this is a nice icebreaker. Get some fans out there. By the way, it's packed. Stands were packed, and I wonder if you wouldn't have even gotten a few more because there was some concern about the practice being canceled, I think, with the rain in the morning, right? So, but, very few empty seats available at the Miller Electric Center. So I would imagine, because you had to do one of those sign up for tickets early. They're free. I would imagine they gave out their capacity of what they had, and it was fun. The diehards were out there getting ready to roll. We got OTAs next week, and on we go. So let's hear just a few thoughts from Liam Cohen, the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who did laud the fans coming out, said it was awesome. And the organization, the energy, everything. The sense of urgency gets raised when you're performing in front of people. And he even admitted on Friday, there's some nerves out there. I guess they invited like select maybe season ticket holders. If you've been a season ticket holder, I don't know what the criteria was, but there were folks who were able to go to the Friday practice as well. And, said it got cleaned up a lot on Saturday. So those initial nerves, they got through that. But was asked about Travis Hunter. Who else? Right. And said, this when asked if Hunter was as advertised.
I would assume, just watching, ran a route yesterday where his shoe came off and didn't quite affect him, made a great catch. And it's more just his presence, right? And the energy that he does provide, both in the classroom, in the meeting rooms, and also out here on the field. So really hard to tell in this kind of setting, though.
All right, Tone.
Equipment guy.
Liam Cohen right now is trying his best not to roll his eyes. All right. Really? Is he as advertised? He's run around for, a couple of days. And I mean, I understand. This is what people want to know, right? I'm not faulting the question, but
sure.
What do you start
How
with?
many different ways? Yeah. Can I answer this kind of question? I will say, I'm like, shoes coming off?
The shoe came off and he still caught the ball. Okay, don't have the shoe come off.
Yeah, what's going on, equipment guy?
Got it right.
Can we get shoes that fit?
We don't want to change all the equipment guys and the team medical staff. Well, maybe they stopped one short, Tone.
Yeah,
I don't know, equipment guy. But
just, who knows what's going on with that? It's not like they're taping these guys up for rookie minicamp.
But really, you listen to that. First thing he says is he has advertised. I assume. I guess. I mean, you saw it, right? He's running around. He looks fast. He catches the football. We're not playing football right now.
What advertisements did you see?
I mean, they went through a period where it felt like, Dylan, they were just trying to get the offensive line to line up and understand what it was like to get in the huddle, right? I mean, this not giving away a big secret. Like, they'd line up in formation, and then they'd blow the whistle like a lineman moved. And then, okay, everybody, huddle up, and just to get that procedure. Because in college, a lot of these guys play no huddle, and so it's like a whole new perspective for
they're
them.
just looking at the sideline for the milkshake symbol to tell them what play they're running.
Right.
That's not exactly how the NFL is going to work.
What is that over there?
The process for all of that is obviously about to change for a lot of young players. Liam Cohen was also asked about, what do you know, Travis Hunter building a relationship with his wide receivers coach now, Edgar Bennett.
Building camaraderie between the two of those guys is going to be really important. The amount of time that they're obviously being able to spend during this time has been really beneficial. And at the end of the day, it's about relationships. So for him to be able to get relationships with all the coaches, right? But specifically the extra time. And he's the type of guy that puts it in on his own when he is away from the building. And so the more he can do and continue to do that will only benefit us moving forward.
Yeah, and Hunter was asked about that, too. He said, look, hit it off right away with Edgar Bennett and understands, look, he taught Devontae Adams, and if you can teach that guy something, I know I can learn a lot from him as well. Like, Travis Hunter is probably that guy, Tone, in all honesty. Like, there are guys that are that talented that can coast in life to a certain point, right? He doesn't seem like a coaster at all, right? He's like, all right, let's get to work, man. We're going to do that. I gotta learn. I gotta get better. It's not there's no eye roll. There's just a joyous enthusiasm to soak up as much football as he can right now.
And next week, the questions will be about the relationship he's building with Anthony Perkins and Ron Millis. Right? Like, it's going to be the guys that are going to be coaching defensive backs and secondary, but he's not doing a whole lot of that yet, but it'll start next week.
Absolutely. All right, one more here from Cohen on the Travis Hunter front. One of the defensive reps start kicking in some of these practice situations.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, he'll be able to get integrated next week on the defensive side of the ball. We just kind of ended up making a decision that from yesterday to today, we wanted to be able to clean up some of the things that we may have been able to miss yesterday, get extra reps on the offensive side of the ball, and next week he'll start to roll on defense.
It's so fascinating, right?
It really is.
It's like, okay, next week he'll be on defense, and then, they're asking Hunter, are you going to wear a different jersey, when you're on different sides of the ball? And he's like, I don't know, man. This is uncharted territory. I don't know how they did it in Colorado.
Yeah.
They throw a penny on, right? And now all of a sudden you're wearing a green penny, and
something like that would make sense.
Yeah, right. You're not going to do a whole uniform change.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think.
You put something on there to signify that he's all right. Now he's playing defense.
Yeah, he's
or whatever.
Right, he's on that side. Like you wear the offense wears white, defense wears teal.
Yeah.
And then you throw a teal penny on.
Yeah, it's not exactly the quarterback non-contact jersey, but it's reminiscent of it.
Yeah, it's just to indicate that when a quarterback drops back and he sees that flash, okay, that's a defender right there. That's not an offensive guy out there. By the way, we will try to get this one in with Boselli. I know this is the most frequently asked question. It's not, how do you feel about Travis Hunter? Like, enough about Travis Hunter. What do you think about Travis Hunter? No, it's are we getting Prowler uniforms full time? You are not the only one to send it in, and we appreciate you sending them in, though, and the volume of people that want to know that. We will try to get that in. I do have a football, kind of specific question for Tony that I've selected among some of the responses today. That's your Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. If you could ask Jags EVP Tony Baselli any one question, what would it be? We'll try and select that one and fit it in at the appropriate time from that thread. We'll give you credit for that question. And I appreciate Tony making time for us this morning. He's going to join us a little under 30 minutes from now. And, this is part of the whole transparency thing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And, Tony's trying to continue that, and nothing's changed. He's got the job. We all know Tony very well, but he's in a different spot now. He's got a lot of control, a lot of say over what this organization does moving forward.
Yeah, he's been an ambassador for the franchise basically since it got here.
Absolutely.
Right? And he's been wearing different hats. And
Talk about as a mayoral candidate at one point.
This is a different role for Tony Baselli, obviously, than he's ever had before. So we'll ask him about all those things. But him being a voice kind of for the fans is not new. Tony Baselli's been in that kind of position for a long time now. Now it's just kind of almost officially in that kind of position within the organization.
Yeah, I am really interested to ask him about offensive line because obviously that's one of his main areas of expertise. Yeah. But you can't. It's like, hey, what did Wyatt Milam do at Ricky Minicamp? I mean, he's not blocking anybody, right? So he hit the sled okay, and you know what I mean? Like, it's not that.
Not a whole lot to see yet.
No, but, there's been a lot of change and a lot of reinforcements brought in on the offensive line. And where does that thing stand? And so many different things we'll get into with Tony coming up, again, a little under 30 minutes from now, 11:15 this morning. And look, I saw most of those guys, Kent Allen, because the running backs were doing drills right in front of Dylan and I, most of the practice. And I will say this, and like, they're doing one where with the ladder drill where you put your outside foot like behind the foot that's closest to the ladder, if you can picture that, kind of like, so you're alternating which foot is tapping in there, and you're doing it in a certain way. Yeah. Like Tootin's going through that thing like and Kent Allen, that might not be his specialty, but when they got to the point where they'll have a trash can and the coaches will lean it one way and you got to break the other way. Like he was, his quick change of direction was pretty evident out there. So, again, all it is the rookie minicamp. Nobody's proclaiming any of these guys future Hall of Famers except for Travis Hunter and Basil Tootin and maybe Caleb Branson and Wyatt Milam. Other than that, and Jack Kaiser as well, who the coach had some nice things to say about Kaiser, which is it's tough. I think it's tough to stand out, Tony, as a linebacker in these kind of circumstances.
I would think, yeah.
It's just, I think it's tough to stand out in these circumstances at all, other than if you're making obvious mental errors, right? And so we'll see how it all works out. But, it was good to get him out on the field, just to get the seal broken now. And now we move past that to the next milestone, whatever that is, with OTAs rapidly approaching. We'll take a break here. When we come back, Tony will take us around the rest of the National Football League. Tony Baselli, Jaguars Executive Vice President, will join us coming up in about 25 minutes, and excited to have Tony join the show and talk about this new era of Jaguar football. Keep it right here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, sandwiches, subs, man. I tell you what, I should have gotten a Dandy on the way out there. I was a little hungry out at minicamp, I'll admit it, but, that's my own fault because you really had the convenience of going by any gate station. They're all over Jacksonville. Duval's all spread out, but gate stations are everywhere. You can pick up Dandy at Anytime Deli, sandwiches, subs, breakfast items, any kind of food item from them right there. And have it ready to go. You know what? Pack a cooler. The next mini camp or OTA practice is open to the public. Pack a cooler. Fill it with Dandy options. Share them with your friends. They'll think you're the smartest person out there. Dandy is a local Jacksonville-based company that's been in business for nearly 70 years, providing the highest quality of food on the go. Freshest ingredients, delivered daily, great variety, prices that keep a smile on your face. Watch out, don't grab my last tuna salad. Don't worry, there's plenty more for you where that came from as well. When you're hungry in Duval, folks, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy. Why don't you do it today?
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. The place for rowdy reptiles.
I can't believe what I just saw!
Where only gators get out alive.
And this place is an inside asylum!
1010XL.
Oh, my!
Home of the Gators.
Hello, I'm attorney Malcolm Anthony. Being charged with domestic violence can turn your life upside down. If you're in trouble, call me, Malcolm Anthony, at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Enhance your home with Renewal by Anderson's superior craftsmanship and timeless design. Right now, buy 2 windows or patio doors and get the third at 60% off. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires May 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Jaguars Today Monday is built by Dream Finders Homes.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Got a cracked windshield? Not only is it dangerous, but did you know it's also illegal? Call Baker Glass. Mac and his crew use the best auto glass in the market, and they accept most insurance. Plus, all new windshields come with a full warranty. From cars to trucks to RVs, you can count on Baker Glass to be fast and friendly. Just check out their Google reviews. Come see us at the shop on Casta Avenue, or we can come to you at your home or business.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Oh, no. No.
You okay in there?
Toilet's backed up. It won't flush.
Okay, I'll call the pros.
The tank isn't filling. The handle does nothing. Run for your life.
Don't be so dramatic. Duck Rooter will fix it.
For any plumbing issue, call Duck Rooter, your local plumbing professionals and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Keep your ride summer road trip ready with parts, tools, and accessories from Summit Racing. We have what you need for pre-trip maintenance, plus essentials like emergency roadside kits, tire inflators, jumper cables, boost jump starters, tool sets, and a whole lot more. So hit the highways or take the roads less traveled with confidence. Shop SummitRacing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends May 25th, 2025. SummitRacing.com. Let's build it together.
Looking for that designer engagement ring like Tacori or Verragio? Then hear this. The only locally owned authorized dealer here for these exquisite rings is Beard's Diamonds. Beard's is your destination for the top names in bridal design. Tacori, Verragio, Sylvie, Gabriel & Company, Gnome Carver, and more. If she's seen it on Pinterest or in a bridal magazine, Beard's has it. Exquisite, handcrafted, and made in America. So you can get her the ring of her dreams without having to go to one of those national mega chain jewelers. At Beard's, there's no big company rules, no Wall Street sales goals, no impersonal service. The non-commissioned experts at Beard's Diamonds will take their time and let you see dozens of ring styles from all the most sought-after designers. Beard's is proud to be Jacksonville's premier jeweler for nearly 45 years. We're committed to this area and promise an authentic, refined, and risk-free experience without markups, without pricing games, without corporate red tape getting in the way of making you happy. Beard's Diamonds, Jacksonville's diamond store, at the shops at St. John's Town Center.
Grow your hair back.
IHRS offers the latest technology in hair transplants and restorative treatments.
Fast, easy, and effective.
With over 35 years' experience, our team is committed to delivering exceptional results. Hair restoration is for us, and it can be for you too.
See how IHRS technology can grow your hair back. Go to hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS, 777-4477 for $250 off.
Ackerman Cancer Center is celebrating a major milestone this month, treating their 3,000th patient with cutting-edge proton therapy. For excellence in cancer screening, diagnosis, and treatment, trust Ackerman Cancer Center. Learn more at ackermancancercenter.com.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL local sports update brought to you by the First Coast YMCA. Jaguar fans got their first glimpse of seeing their first-round draft pick Travis Hunter in action this weekend as rookie minicamp started this Saturday down at the Miller Electric Center. Hunter worked primarily with the offense on Saturday, but is set to start learning more of the defensive side of the ball soon. At the rookie minicamp press conference, head coach Liam Cohen shared how pleased and impressed he is with Hunter and the relationships he's developing.
And at the end of the day, it's about relationships. So for him to be able to get relationships with all the coaches, right? But specifically the extra time, and he's the type of guy that puts it in on his own when he is away from the building. And so the more he can do and continue to do that will only benefit us moving forward.
Head coach Liam Cohen, sound courtesy of Jaguars.com. It's 74 degrees at 11 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
10XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Work it, make it, do it. Makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Now, Liam Cohen and Travis Hunter not the only ones speaking after practice. We'll hear from Wyatt Milam, one of the Jaguars' third-round selections, also stopped by the microphone. And they'll do this. Maybe next time it'll be Ransaw and Tootin, then it'll be Kaiser and Lane, and there'll always be a desire to talk with Travis Hunter, I'm sure. But
yeah.
you'll
and the
get to
vets
hear
will
from
be in
all
there
these
next
guys.
week.
Of course, right?
So
You get a mix of this, mix of that, and you know, look, and again, nobody's saying these guys aren't important. They're extremely important for what the Jags are going to do. Travis Hunter could be the best corner and wide receiver in the league if it worked out that way. That's not enough. This team needs more than just that. I mean, it's a great start to improving your roster, but it's not the finish line. So we'll hear from Milam coming up here in a few minutes. Tony Baselli, less than 20 minutes away, so we still got to get another break in before Big Bo, the executive vice president of your Jaguars, joins us here on Jaguars Today. But before we get to any of that, Tony Smith right now going to take us around the NFL.
Now, Gems Around the NFL. Brought to you by Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
The NFL will be releasing the full regular season schedule on Wednesday, but some matchups and dates will be revealed starting today and over the next couple of days. This morning, the league announced that the season will kick off on Thursday, September 4th, with the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Las Vegas is signing linebacker Jalen Smith. After having him in for a tryout over the weekend, Smith hasn't played anywhere since the first week of the 2023 season. Denver head coach Sean Payton said over the weekend that linebacker Dre Greenlaw, who suffered a quad injury sometime earlier in this offseason, is on track to be a full participant for the team when training camp begins. And New Orleans quarterback Derek Carr announced his retirement from the NFL after an 11-year career, the last 2 seasons with the Saints, following spending 9 years with the Raiders. He was selected as a second-round pick there in 2014. Carr finishes his career as a 4-time Pro Bowler, also finished third in the AP's MVP voting in 2016.
He had a nice career, man. I mean, it's not a Hall of Famer, but he had a very nice career, especially compared to his brother. I mean, who was the number 1 overall pick, who was miserable, had the talent and desire beat out of him in his rookie season when he took like 70 sacks or whatever. It might have been more than that. It was a bunch, that rookie campaign. So Jalen Smith is coming back after like a couple of years off. That is so hard to do.
Yeah.
I think. I'm interested to see what Hunter Renfrow does this year as well. He had some kind of medical issue that kept him from playing last year. And you just kind of thought, well, I mean, this is a guy who Hunter Renfrow just a few years ago had a 100-catch season. And Now he's going to play for Carolina. I don't know how much of an impact he's going to make there with McMillan. They got Leggett, who they spent late first rounder on. Thielen's coming back for another year, but
ulcerative colitis, I think it was.
Was that what it was?
Renfro? Yeah.
Man. Just
he lost a bunch of weight.
He did.
He
wasn't
dropped
a big guy to
25
begin
pounds,
with, right?
Yeah.
So anytime guys take that break, rarely do they come back the same.
It's tough.
They were, although
the league is tough, right? Like when guys,
you're
talking about Carr just a moment ago, guys who stick around in the league for a decade plus, that's no joke, right? Like being able to really make a decade of work out of the National Football League as a player. The amount of effort that you have to put in to be able to do that kind of thing, it's astronomical. And every day there's somebody looking to take your job, right? Like it's always open in competition to some degree if you slip, right? Like it's when you start slipping, somebody's waiting there. They're not waiting there to catch you. They're there to let you fall so that they can take your spot.
Mm-hmm.
That's the competition in the National Football League. If you find a way, Calais Campbell is a walking human marvel. Right, that he's doing what he's doing now, going into what is it, 18? His 18th season, something like that, and that he still is playing at the level that he's playing at. People just aren't built that way. When they do it, I don't know how you do anything but look at it and go, "Wow!"
Yeah,
how do they pull that off? I have a lot of respect for the guy. Anybody who gets to a second contract in the National Football League has every bit of respect that they could possibly have from me. Like playing in the league at all gets it, but making it to a second deal. Are you kidding me?
Tone, we're out there, and we're talking about Dylan and I on Saturday. Seth Hennigan, probably one of the 100 best quarterbacks available to professional football, right? But generally only going to roster about 70 in the NFL because most teams don't keep 3, so might be like maybe he's number 120. You're going to be 100, top 150 at what you do in the world.
Yeah.
And almost have no chance.
There just aren't a whole lot of jobs.
Almost have no chance to make it. And he did throw the ball very well. And I guess Gruden put him on Liam Cohen's radar.
Yeah.
So there's something we got out of John Gruden. It's going to be offensive lineman hour. We're going to get Tony Baselli on here in a little over 10 minutes. But let's spend a few moments here with Wyatt Milam after practice on Saturday. Our favorite quote from him so far, nobody's going to touch Trevor. What do you mean when you said that?
No, I feel like it. I mean it. When I say something, I mean it. Just going back, not to talk too much about college, but I felt like that's something I took pride in. I've always taken pride in, and especially if you're playing O-line, you don't want no one touching a quarterback. And I felt like that's the mindset here, especially. And that's one reason why I love playing here already. Is just the mindset that we have on this offensive line. We don't want no one touching Trevor. So.
I love that. Look, they're all going to say the right thing, right? But I love that. That's why I love playing here. I just do. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. And Wyatt Milam, last 3 years didn't give up a sack, right? Playing left tackle. So I'm hoping he can handle those interior defensive linemen, pass rushers at the National Football League level.
No doubt. Time will tell on that.
That's a great mentality to have.
But the attitude he has should help him, in that cause as he takes it on here with the Jaguars. He was also asked about, he is coming into the NFL for the first time. He's done it in high school. He's done it in college. Now it's going to be at the NFL level. And he was asked what has surprised him most since he's been drafted.
You just see, you see people that when you was younger in high school and you see people playing in college and you come into the locker room and you see them, and you just see people that you never thought you would see. So it's been a blessing so far just to be able to come here in Jacksonville. And it's just a blessing they gave me this opportunity to come play football here.
All right, a couple more here, Dylan. We'll do cuts 5 and 6. As Wyatt Milam talked about, people were so excited at the team hotel. They didn't wait for minicamp to go. Like the receivers were doing things in the the parking lot, whatever, and just players were so excited to be out there. They're holding their own kind of impromptu walkthroughs at the team hotel. Don't have it? All right, cut 5. All right, let's move on then. Have the coaches been throwing a lot at Wyatt Milam since he got drafted?
He's been great so far. The type of leader that he is for this team, just the way that he loves the game of football. You can just tell when he's up there in front of us, just his talking. You can just tell that he loves the game of football.
All right, I don't know what we're hearing now, so I got 7 cuts from Milam.
That was thoughts on his coach.
You've got
sounded
4.
like Cohen, yeah.
Yeah, that's an issue. So let's just say Wyatt Milam's excited to be here, Tony.
Yeah.
He's never going to let anybody lay a finger on our man, Trevor Lawrence.
Correct.
He's going to be probably a, 17-time Pro Bowl guard over the course of his 18-year career. Yeah. I don't know. Let's get silly at this point.
What happened in that 18th year?
Well, it's his rookie season. Man.
Okay.
He probably,
had to get on the map.
Maybe one of those make the All-Pro but not make the Pro Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Kind of years. You know how
I think
that
I
happens.
could take that.
That happens from time to time.
Yeah.
But
we signed one of those in free agency. It didn't quite work out too.
Every
bunch
team,
of Pro Bowls after Norwell got here.
Every team but Cleveland has won the offseason,
Mm-hmm.
okay, at this point in time. So we've all won it. Cleveland drafted a fat guy who can't keep his lunch down.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, and didn't draft Travis Hunter and traded us the pick. So there's that. That's from Cleveland fans themselves. I have seen the still shot of Mason Graham losing his lunch. That did not look like wings coming up to me, but I have not seen a full video of it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not pleased up there in Seatown. All right. We are going to come back with the only Jaguar Hall of Famer to date, Tony Baselli, Executive Vice President of your football team. He was taking it all in out at rookie minicamp along with the rest of them out there in the front office. James Gladstone watching from his perch, and, of course, Liam Cohen running things with the new coaching staff. So we'll get Tony's thoughts on settling into the job and what that entails. What is his vision for his role with the Jacksonville Jaguars? What is his vision for this football team in the short term? It's got to be executed by a lot of people. Obviously, the coaching staff, the front office, but Boselli's got some say in this, and he will join us coming up next. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark here with you. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
What do you hear on the street these days, Huggy?
There was a time when something was missing from the First Coast radio dial.
Dig this.
1010XL.
It's Work Zone Awareness Week, Florida. Every year, lives are lost in work zones because of speeding and distractions. When you see orange cones, remember, slow down, follow the signs, and stay focused. Workers are counting on you to get home safely, and so are their families. Let's work together to prevent crashes and save lives. A safety reminder from the Florida Department of Transportation. Slow your roll. Safety's the goal.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Guys, your lawn's the home field. Now you can champion your St. Augustine grass. TopDressing.com just hit Jacksonville with a game-changing patented process. Aerate and transform your turf into a fairway-worthy masterpiece. Less water, shorter cuts, and the envy of every neighbor. No one else delivers a perfect 10 lawn like this. Visit TopDressing.com and dominate your block with the same process that golf courses use. Top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Dreamfinders Homes Monday
on Jaguars Today. Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save 15% on roof replacements and repairs now through May 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
2 classic albums, 1 night of hits. Styx presents The Grand Illusion. Kevin Cronin Band presents REO Speedwagon's High Infidelity. June 2nd, Daly's Place. Brotherhood of Rock Tour. Plus Don Felder, formerly of the Eagles. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. 2 classic albums in their entirety. Styx, The Grand Illusion, REO Speedwagons, High Infidelity. Don't miss the event of the summer.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Get the best soccer talk on the First Coast on the Coaches Show, presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor discuss the beautiful game Tuesday evenings at 6 on 10:10 a.m.
Summer in Jacksonville is coming in hot. Lauren Brooks here. Beat the heat with Turbo Tint. Their window tint blocks up to 99% of harmful UV rays and keeps your ride cool and comfortable. Book today at orangepark.turbotint.com.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
When it comes to your utility bill, JEA wants to help you use less so you can save more. We offer a variety of free programs, like efficiency and irrigation assessments that'll teach you ways to conserve energy and water around your home. Our alerts will let you know when your utility usage has reached a set amount, and our rebates can help you save when upgrading to more efficient appliances and equipment. Find even more ways to save at JEA.com.
Prosser here. It's a great time to sell your home, and I got just the people to sell it for you. Spring selling season is here. Rates are down, activity's up. Now's the best time in years to sell your home. Some homes are sitting on the market, though. Hiring an expert who can maximize your equity and minimize your hassle, that's the key. And I've been telling you who those experts are. Are you listening? I recommend Chad and Sandy Newman. Go to chadandsandy.com, the local real estate experts you can trust with the sale of your home. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. So whatever problems you think you have, I've got you this promise. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. There you go. Simple as that. Christopher on Anastasia Island. My home was too big for my needs. I wanted someplace smaller and easier to manage. I got multiple offers and sold in 3 days with Chad and Sandy. You can too at chadandsandy.com or 904-414-6200.
Since 1901, generations of skilled union workers have built the backbone of our community. Hospitals, schools, the buildings where you work. Every year, a new apprentice class of Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians is stepping up, trained, driven, and ready to do great things. They're not just building our city, they're building their future. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to become a member or contractor today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
You know, Tony, I first started covering Tony Baselli in the Jaguars locker room in '96, his second year. I'm sure he doesn't remember me. I mean, we've had Tony on a bunch. Tony's been arguably the greatest player in franchise history, the only Hall of Famer, has been part of the radio network, has been part of 1010XL. We've had him on a million times. I don't know if I've ever been more excited to talk to Tony Baselli.
No doubt. Yeah.
Than I am right now. And Big Bo joins us, the executive vice president of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Good morning, Tony. How are you?
What's up, Dempsey? How you doing?
We're good, man. We're excited. I mean, look, I'm a sucker, bro. I am excited every offseason, okay? And I want to be excited every offseason, but I feel like the organization is giving us a lot of reasons for that, and fans are on the edge of their seat to see what comes next. So let's dig in a little bit. Let's start with you, EVP, man. What's a day like in the life of Tony Baselli right now? What do you do every day?
You sound like my kids. My kids ask me all the time. They're like, Dad, what do you actually do when you go to work? Well, you know, I'm learning just like everybody else. Actually, obviously, I've been been part of the organization since '95 in some form, and but a lot of it post career has either been on the business side, working with Mark Lamping, or the media side. And then I was in the media for a long time, calling games and doing the show and doing stuff with 1010, and just loved the game of football while my real job was running businesses. And so when this opportunity came, I had a pretty good vision of what I thought the job was and how I thought about it and my approach was going to be. But a big part of that was also getting from the very beginning, let's get the right people. And I give Shad a ton of credit, all the credit for the vision he had of how he wanted to reshape the organization on the football side and the leadership structure. And for it to be effective more than anything, Mike, is getting the right people in each of the major roles. Head coach, obviously Liam, and we had strong convictions. And and I'm probably more convicted today than I was when we hired him that he was the right guy to lead this team, and just his presence and his leadership. Forget about the football side of it. I mean, we all know what kind of offensive coordinator it is. All you have to do is turn on the tape of Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then after that, so that's a busy time. You get your head coach, and so immediately jumping into the deep end, hired the day after the press conference that Liam gave as the head coach. Then I get introduced as EVP, and we're, building the staff and look at the entire front office and operations and making sure we get the right people in each role. Because we've had a lot of talk about culture and what it means to be a Jaguar. At the end of the day, what culture is in any organization is what is lived out by leadership and the people in the building. That's your culture. You can have, taglines, and you can have fancy words, and you can do all, and that's important. You got to set the vision of what it is, but ultimately your culture becomes what's lived out daily. And to do that effectively, you have to have the right people in each of the leadership roles. And the biggest focus for Liam and I, once he got hired and started building his staff, was getting the right staff, but then we had to quickly pivot to do a GM search. And that was extensive. And so my day back then was waking up every day and going through lists of people and getting into the 10 people we wanted to do virtual interviews with, and then doing background checks on them and calling around the league. And then 30 hours of virtual interviews that led to 20 hours of in-person interviews with 5 individuals. And we landed on James Gladstone, which was critical, another critical piece. And then it was the 3 of us getting to know each other. So the day is then filled with spending a lot of time together, planning out free agency is the first thing we have to attack. And we're a little bit behind. Now, thankfully, our personnel team had done a great job of laying everything out, but we're diving into the deep end with that. And we had a great free agency, going and getting 9 free agents. Actually, 10. We added Fred Johnson a little bit later to kind of, as James said so eloquently, is we're going to raise the floor of this roster so that we didn't have to we weren't going to be forced to do anything in the draft where it was just glaring holes. And then you flip the script right away and you're going to the draft. So all day, every day is that. And my big question is, okay, post-draft, now what does my day look like? And now you got players in the building, Mike. And it's everything from making sure you got a bunch of departments here that are here to support the coaches and players and the personnel, and getting that group organized and detailed out, and strong processes in place that everyone knows what they're doing every day. And then what I found out in this job, and this is the one thing I didn't know, because this is a continuous process, everything I just said. It never stops. Every day you're trying to build, and you're trying to lay the foundation of who we are and how we're going to operate and how we're going to treat people and what the work ethic is and such. But then there's always something that pops up that you just don't know. Today I wake up, you get in there, and we got rain. We're supposed to be on the field today, so you're looking at the field. You're monitoring the weather. Are we going to be indoors, outdoors? And so there's always something, and we got the rookies in here in rookie readiness. We got Fred Taylor coming in tonight. Fred and I will speak to the rookies, kind of laying that groundwork. So every day is a little bit different because we're in the people business. You're dealing with humans, and things come up. And at the same time, we have a daily cadence here of what we're going to do and how we're going to operate and what everyone's roles and responsibilities is. So I'm having a ton of fun more than anything. I don't know what else I'd rather be doing than trying to build this organization with Liam and James to make it a championship organization year in and year out that our fans and our sponsors can be proud of, and fulfilling the vision that Shad's laid out.
Tony, you mentioned Liam Cohen and the success he had as an offensive coordinator in Tampa, and that we can put on the tape and see how good he is in that capacity. What about Liam Cohen convinced you that he was the right hire for this franchise?
Well, I'm a sucker for our offensive line play. You guys know that. And I believe the game is won at the line of scrimmage, O&D line, and you build the team inside out. And I remember Sitting down in the first 30 minutes with Liam, the first thing that jumped out at me was his energy and his command of the room. Because, being a head coach is a completely different job description than offense coordinator. You are now the voice of the franchise. You are the voice to all our players and to the whole organization, really. That's a major leadership role. And it takes presence to be a head coach. And you just don't know until you sit down and really dig into it with an individual to understand, do they have that presence? And I think I have a different perspective as well as being a player. Because players know immediately whether the guy's a fraud or not. And players know immediately, is this an authentic leader? Is he being himself? And within 30 minutes, I'm like, okay, this dude's got that. He has a presence about him. If I was a player, I would follow him. He can capture the attention of grown men who are a bunch of alphas that are striving, that are competitive and trying to be the best they can. And then he got me, though. I'll be honest with you. Probably, that 30 to 45 minute time after talking about Trevor and kind of his approach and overall as an organizational approach and everything else, he pivoted real quick and said, like, one of the most important things is we have to get the offense and defensive lines right, that you win the game. And he started going down this path. And I'll be honest with you, he played college quarterback. He's an offense coordinator. So in my mind, immediately, never having met him, is like, is he going to be the typical, let's throw it around the field and look and show everyone how smart we are because we can throw it better than anybody else? And he immediately pivoted and went and said, it starts up front. It starts when you break the huddle and what that group looks like and their ability to control the line of scrimmage. And he went in depth, in detail. And what people don't probably realize, our fans, is Liam could coach every position on the offense. Like the details he understands of offensive line play and technique and how to go about it. It's remarkable. And you realize really quickly, this is a guy who grew up on the sidelines with a dad who was a coach. And he's a coach's kid. And I've been thoroughly impressed with everything, how he's done everything to date and really going about and leading our team. And then the fun part for me is he's a guy who's fun to work with. He's a good dude. He's a guy I look forward to. And my wife asked me the other day and said, what's the most pleasant surprise for you? And I don't know if it was a surprise, but what's most pleasant is I wake up every day. I love this organization. I think people probably know that by now. So I'm going to be excited no matter what to come to work here. But the real fun for me is I get to wake up every day, go to work, and work with two guys in a leadership role that I really enjoy being around, in James and Liam.
Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer, here with us, your new executive vice president, still new to us, Tone. And, from the outside looking in, we all have this feeling of how the draft war room plays out. We've seen these insider articles before. I know Mike Silver was embedded with the team this time around, right? So what was it like? What did you learn about this process maybe that was a little bit different than you imagined it might be? And we got this specific question from one of our listeners, Jay, on social media. He said, how did it feel watching everybody, including the local guys, speculate on who the Jags should take, knowing what your plan was, that you would hope to make that big move and get Travis Hunter when most everybody else was focused on Mason Graham or maybe Ashton Genty?
Yeah, Mike, that's a great question because for my history, I've been in your guys' seat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been one of you guys, covering the team and maybe not daily like you guys do, but doing shows for the Jaguars. People want to know my opinion, and my opinion was worth just above zero, I'm realizing, because you really don't know until you're diving into the specifics and the details of how a team's thinking and the process and everything else. And then when it comes to Travis Hunter, when James came to Liam and I with the thought and the idea and the strategy of like, let's trade up and go get the guy all three of us really want, because we spent weeks leading up to the decision to do that, of like going through scenarios, is like, is there any way that Travis Hunter could fall to us? And it became clear that there's no chance. I mean, this is the best player in the draft. And the only person that anyone's going to take before Travis Hunter is one of the quarterbacks, if they're valued at, because it's a quarterback league and everyone knows that. And so we just saw no scenario. And I remember sitting in the draft room and it was just Liam and I and James, and he came up with the idea. And immediately Liam and I are like, okay, what do we have to give up? And he went through it, and we're like, let's do it. And I give James a ton of credit, the way he executed it, the way he laid it out, his communication with Andrew Berry and the Browns. Give Andrew Berry and the Browns a ton of credit for keeping it under wraps and keeping their word, because it wasn't we didn't agree officially to the trade terms because it was all dependent on Cam Ward going 1, because we weren't going to trade up to 2 if Tennessee took Travis Hunter. And so it was a real tight circle in going through that. And then obviously we wanted to communicate with Shad, because it's a major strategic decision for the organization. You know, he signed off and said, like it, let's go. And after that, we didn't really expand the circle because we wanted to keep it quiet. We wanted to keep the competitive advantage. That's all to go to say it was fun for me listening to all you guys speculate what was going on. I'm like, they have no idea what we're about to do. And I just would chuckle because I'd listen to the radio on the way to work or going home and watching, X. It was a lot of fun, and it also made me laugh at myself, because in the past I was one of you guys trying to speculate and thinking I knew what was really going on when I didn't.
Tony, you mentioned the idea, Liam Cohen, when you were talking to him that first time, specifically focusing on the offensive and defensive lines, right? And that's where his focus was going to be. Are you satisfied that the moves that the team made along the offensive line are enough to get that unit to where you want it to be this season?
Yeah, I'm really excited about our group. I mean, I think we went and got 4 guys in free agency. We drafted 2. We have, I think I want to get this right, I think we have 9 or 10 guys who've started games in the NFL across the line now. Really happy with what Liam did with our coaching staff, Sean Surratt, watching him operate and his assistants and the details and kind of how they're going through it. I have a lot of confidence in Sean Surratt, our coach, and the group that we've pulled together. It was obviously a point of emphasis. We invested heavily in that area, and I think you're going to see the results on the field. We have a lot of work to do still. Obviously, we've got to go through camp, but I think we have good depth, and I think we're going to have a really competitive atmosphere during training camp this year to see who takes one of those 5 jobs up front, and we'll see who's there on opening day.
All right, so Tony, we just wrapped up rookie mini camp, right? So, or this weekend was the first rookie mini camp. What is the team hoping to accomplish during that period, and were you able to accomplish that?
Yeah, I think the first thing is you want to get all the rookies in here when the vets aren't here to get them acclimated to the building and how we do things and what the expectations, what's the standard, what does it mean to be a Jaguar. And then for our offensive and defensive coaches to start the install process. So it's a lot of learning. And it's learning in the meeting rooms, start the install, trying to get them caught up to where the veterans are, because everyone's getting a new system this year. And then when you get on the field, Mike, it's really about taking them through the drills in the individual periods, start teaching them the technique that you've been teaching the veterans up to this point, so that today we will all be on the field together. Mm-hmm. And so at least the rookies have a starting point to understand, okay, we're an individual, you're an offensive lineman, here's the progression we're going to go through. Here's the cadence. Here's how we're going to huddle. Here's the terminology we're going to use. Now, they're still behind when it comes to what we've installed with the veterans as far as offense and defensive playbooks. But at least they understand the language, and that they can start to try to catch up, and we have extra meetings on these days for the rookies when the vets are here and the vets go home, and we'll keep the rookies and dive deeper with them. And then when you get on the field, you want to kind of see them move and how they operate and how they go through individuals and who's in shape and who needs a little bit more work to get in shape. As everyone who came out and saw, it's not a real competitive O versus D situation where you're going full speed. We definitely did not want to do much of that, if any at all, because of just the risk of injury, because you have a bunch of guys that are going to be, nervous, anxious, and at different stages of as far as their cardio and how in shape are they. And the last thing is you want a guy who's maybe a little bit compromised because not in shape as well, out of control, and either hurting themselves or someone else. So it's a very controlled environment during rookie minicamp, and with the emphasis on teaching, learning, and then those individual periods that we had.
Tony, we obviously talk about the quarterback and Trevor Lawrence specifically a lot, and we'll ask different questions that are kind of the same thing 50 different times here over the next few months. But while we have you, what should Jaguars fans expect from Trevor Lawrence this season?
Listen, we believe in Trevor Lawrence, and so the expectation should be the same as here. We believe he's a franchise quarterback. He's going to lead us to a lot of victories. And what I can tell our fans is this is an individual who is ultra competitive, and is putting the work in, both from a physical and mental standpoint. He's obviously rehabbing the shoulder that he had. He's throwing. He looks good, and I think the marriage between him and our coaching staff, and from the mental, let's call it above the neck. The work being put in as far as understanding the system and the language, and so he can have complete command. We even, as we thought about those backup quarterbacks and Nick Mullins and oh gosh,
Seth Hennigan.
Johnny. Come on, Dempsey, help me out there. The Bishop Kenny.
John Wolford.
Oh yeah, John Wolford.
Yeah, Wolford. Golly, I couldn't think of Wolford. These are both individuals who knew the system coming in. Had been around the system that Liam and our coaches are installing. So that's another additional assistance to Trevor. You have people around him who understand it. And then from the neck down, the details of the footwork, the lower body, and everything else that our coaches are focusing on. I expect big things from Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to do a great job. But I believe, and what we believe is we're going to get better around him. We're going to run the ball better. We're going to do a better job up front. We're going to play better defense. Obviously the quarterback is the most important position in football today. However, you got to surround those guys. You got to help them have success. And it's still a team game. It's still the greatest team game. So we need to get better around Trevor Lawrence. So Trevor needs to get better. He needs to improve. He needs to continue to push the envelope. But we need to get better around Trevor as well.
All right, as we get ready to wrap up here with Tony Baselli, Jaguar Pro Football Hall of Famer, and your executive vice president, Tony. Look, I said it, man. I'm a sucker. I get crazy over the top every offseason. Why not? I'd rather be optimistic than not about the changes. I like to see the vision, and we know it's not always going to work out that way, but there's a ton of change. Coaching staff, front office, yourself, your own role. So many rookies coming in, so much newness here. With all that, what are the realistic on-field expectations that fans should have for this team in 2025?
Yeah, Mike, listen, number one, ultimately we're all going to be judged by what happens on the grass in the regular season. What happens in Everbank Stadium, what happens in the stadiums we travel this year, that's what our fans want. That's the expectation of ourselves in this building, in the organization, and for our fans and our partners. We need to go win football games. And right now, am I optimistic? Absolutely. But I'm also realistic, hey, let's not break our arms, patting ourselves on the back, how great things are going right now. Because ultimately it's about winning football games, and that's what we're focused on. However, with that said, you got to do things right now. You got to win every segment, which breaks down to every day. Let's go out and have good days. Let's continue to build one successful day after another. And I think we're doing that. I'm really pleased where we're at right now, so that when it comes time, opening day, that first Sunday after Labor Day, and now we're keeping score, that we're ready to go compete, and we've earned the right to go win a football game. And that's what we're doing right now. And the only thing my expectation is we're going to have a tough, competitive team that's going to go out there, and you're going to have to beat this team. We're not going to go lose football games. And so we're going to go out there and lay it on the line each Sunday. And the goal is to win as many football games as we possibly can. And we're really what we want to do in December and early January, competing to get into the playoffs.
All right, Tone, we appreciate your time. We know you're a busy man these days, and we wish you nothing but success. Obviously, our hearts are there with you. But I got to throw in the most important question Jaguar fans ask me. Now, Prowler throwbacks, can we get them on a permanent basis?
Well, I'm with the fans. You know where I lie. I would wear those dang things every game if we were allowed. I think this year we're allowed to wear them up to 4. We will maximize. Anytime we can wear the Prowler, the old school jerseys, they will be on. There are league rules of how often you can change the jerseys. I will abide by those rules. We can't change them immediately to be a full-time jersey. stay tuned. We'll communicate that as we have the opportunity to at our next jersey change. But for this year, expect us to maximize. I believe it's 4 times that we can wear the Prowlers, and we're going to maximize and wear those Prowlers as much as we can.
You're getting really good at this, bro. You gave them what they want, a little red meat. You're going to get them as often as we can, and stay tuned. You got the hook for later down the line.
Well, hey, Demps, you know what? I never knew this, but being in the media helped me a little bit. I understand exactly how to communicate, what we can communicate, and when we can communicate it. But,
amen, brother.
At the end of the day, let me say this: we do appreciate our fans and love the passion. And I love those old school jerseys, just like our fans do. Be patient with us. We'll do everything we can to get to where all of us want to be at the right time. And with that said, appreciate you guys, Demps. Thanks for coming out on Saturday. It's great having 10-10 out here, all you guys coming and covering us, and you guys do a great job, so we appreciate the partnership.
All right. Well, Boselli, you can now hang up and not say any more nice things about us, and that's fine. No. But I appreciate, in all seriousness, man, I do appreciate you coming on. This has been, you're going to look up and go, I've been on how long on this little 10-minute interview? So we do thank you for taking some time out. No Fans are they're ravenous, man. They just want anything they can get about the newness of the Jags, and let's all hope that you guys build to what we want, a successful winning season. Let's go take that division title back and see what we can do in the postseason.
Demps, it's the only reason I'm here. The only reason I came back to do what I'm doing is my expectation is to build a world championship organization, and that's what we're going to do.
All right, Tone, thanks again. All the best, and we'll see you out there at practice all summer long.
All right, guys. Thanks. Have a good one.
Appreciate you, buddy. There he goes, the executive vice president of your Jacksonville Jaguars, Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. Good stuff. That'll be available, by the way, on demand, 1010XL. Trust me, we had a lot more questions. Tony answered a lot of the questions in giving an answer to a different question. So he covered a ton of ground. Really appreciate him coming on, and people are asking for some specific things. We can't get into everything, and leaves a little more for down the line.
No doubt. It'll be a long time before I'm tired of the energy that Travis Hunter's bringing to the organization. It'll be even longer before I get tired of somebody like Boselli saying he came in to win a championship. He's building a championship organization. Like, that kind of clearly stated goal, who's not behind that? Like, 100%, let's go.
All right, Godspeed, Tony Baselli, Liam Cohen, James Gladstone, and the crew. We'll come back with some final thoughts on what Tony had to say as we continue along. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. A symphony of sweat, grit, and glory. Dive into the action and live the moments. For play-by-play, it's 1010XL.
Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here. Look, now is the time. You don't want to wait to get your roof hurricane ready for the season. Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach has your back. Look, rainy season is no joke. If your roof's got damage, leaks, or it's just plain worn out, don't wait. Apex is local. They're dependable. And yes, they're going to show up on time, which is huge in this industry. Using only premium materials with ironclad warranties. No shortcuts, no stress, only quality work you can trust. Skip the storm season scramble and reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach, or visit apexroofingfl.com.
Got a leaky faucet, AC blowing hot air, a funky smelling septic tank? No worries, Duck Rooter has your back. We're your one-stop shop for plumbing, septic, and air conditioning, so you can stop juggling 3 companies and just make one easy call. Our expert techs are fast, friendly, and really know their ducks. I mean stuff. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, AC, and a whole lot of quacking good service.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
Enhance your home with Renewal by Anderson's superior craftsmanship and timeless design. Right now, buy 2 windows or patio doors and get the third at 60% off. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires May 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Jaguars Today. You're settled into a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. Clayton, I know you're the head diamond buyer at Underwoods, and you travel to the markets to buy diamonds. Why don't you just look at an emailed list and have them send you the diamond?
Frank, there are a couple of reasons we go straight to the source when we're selecting the diamonds we want to put the Underwood name on. First, as an expert diamond buyer, I have to see a diamond before I can really judge its beauty versus the price it's being offered at. Second, when we're at the source, we have huge selections to choose our diamonds from, so we don't have to compromise the Underwood quality standard. The result is we control what goes into our diamond stock instead of allowing a diamond dealer to send us what he wants us to have. The bottom line is we're able to offer our customers carefully selected, beautiful diamonds that we're proud to have carry the Underwood name.
Underwoods, serving excellence since 1928 in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
He used to cover the Jags. Now he's a CBS Sports senior NFL writer.
Well, I believe you got everybody's attention.
He's Pete Prisco. Friday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Frank Frangie here. I was talking to a buddy the other day. His HOA told him his old fence had to go. I said, man, call Coil Fencing. They've been around the block since 1927. Heck, they probably built half the fences in Jacksonville. They do it all. Tough chain link for security. Those fancy aluminum ones the HOA actually likes. Nearly a century of keeping yards safe and looking good. If you need a fence, call Coil. You can trust the folks at Coil. 904-356-4821 or visit CoilJacks.com, COYLE, Jacks.com.
Whether you're navigating rush hour traffic or heading to the home team game on the weekend, remember, drive cautiously. If you find yourself in a fender bender, don't ignore those aches and pains. Injury Care Centers is there for you. Skip the urgent cares that treat colds and flus. They're not equipped to handle injuries. Go straight to Injury Care Centers. Call 904-783-0008. That's 904-783-0008. Drive safe, think Injury Care Centers, and go team.
It's not too late for a deep spring cleaning on your home. Give my friends at Zero Res a call. Mayhem. 3-room special starting at $149, plus the 4th room is free. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and tell them 1010XL sent you.
Zero Res. 1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Hey, so I just posted, you can listen to that interview with Tony on Spotify and, all these things that I don't understand that Dylan does, but YouTube, wherever, on demand on 1010XL.com. Be sensible. Dylan's got to post it. Okay?
Right,
So if you're going right now to listen, wait until after the show.
If you want to listen to it now, go on YouTube and you can.
YouTube will still have it. Okay, so YouTube, it's already up. Why don't we hit today's 10-10 take, Dylan?
10-10 take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
Why did it ever have to be difficult, Tony? Tony Baselli, smart guy, right? Give the fans what they want within reason, right? How hard is that? And they're going to be more loyal to you. They're going to be more excited. Prowler uniforms are far and away the number one thing people want us to ask about.
Such an easy win.
It's such an easy win, right? Yeah. It's the uniform. They're beautiful. They're spectacular.
And the whole league reacted when they were wearing them.
Everyone loves
sees
them.
it. They're like, those are awesome. So it doesn't matter where you are.
Jags can wear them 4 times this year. As Tony Baselli said, they're going to max it out. Mm-hmm. And stay tuned because you're only allowed to change your primary uniform so many times. There's a window. Once you do it, it's got to stay that way for X amount of time. That certainly sounds like an executive vice president that is going to put his thumb on the scale to make them your uniform somewhere down the line.
Yeah, it ought to be the uniform.
How hard is that?
And
simple.
When we get to the end of this 30-year span in Jaguars football, they ought to still be wearing that Prowler uniform.
Let's hope.
That ought to be the uniform.
Right? Because,
you can't get better.
It's so simple. Such an easy win. Transparency, right? Like, what is the draw? Well, we don't want to do, we don't want any fan service. I mean, it doesn't affect your winning and losing. It's not going to hurt you in any way. So do it. And it's not like they're weird, and they, how did that win a fan poll as the uniform of choice? No, they're spectacular.
When they go to the two-tone helmets and all that stuff, if they had the team store that they were opening up that day, I doubt they had crowds basically backed up to the street. Right, from the store to come get their hands on that kind of gear, right? But the Prowler, the people were ready.
Oh, they're totally ready.
Right, like the excitement level for those specifically is, we
did a whole show out there last year. You had the week off, but we did a show out there when they just opened up the first sales of the Prowler throwbacks, and people were out.
It was a holiday. For the fans, it was a holiday.
Just rapping through the parking lot, that line. So, I mean, that's the easy stuff, right? All the rest of it, how good are they going to be? As Tony said, we're not patting ourselves on the back yet. We got to win football games, man. And what are their expectations for the team, for Trevor Lawrence? We expect him to be an elite quarterback. You should have expectations for Trevor Lawrence as well. Then it's up to Trevor to put in the work with the coaching staff and for the coaching staff to help unlock him to get that level of performance out of him on a consistent basis. We've seen peak performances. String it out. Let's have a multi-season run that leaves no doubt where Trevor Lawrence stands. And, I still believe that potential is extremely high.
I do too.
But he's got to fulfill it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Really, again, couldn't thank Tony Baselli more for the time this morning. And he probably looked up. He's like, 22 minutes. What? We're at the 22-minute mark of this. This is not what I signed up for. All right. So with that, rookie minicamp in the books, and I'm sure they will continue to discuss that and more on Helmets and Heels.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJax.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Mia, hello.
Hello. How are we doing, gang? What's going on?
We're doing just fine and dandy.
Yeah.
Jags on the field. Did you get no-see-ums all over you? I had no-see-ums all over me on Saturday.
Are you referring to the little bugs? Yeah. I didn't know there was a name. I just call them gnats.
Yeah, and they're gnats. They're the same thing. I mean, I look down and there are like a dozen of them on me.
I've never, this early in the season, so to speak, I've never been eaten alive quite like a.
Thank you. At least it's not only me.
No.
Not only me.
Anytime anyone says the word gnat on air, it's going to make me chuckle.
Yeah.
Because of the hacker spelling bee.
Oh,
I'm always going to laugh.
We did a hacker bee years ago. I don't know what the prize was, but what is the shortest word that we can stump Hacker on the spelling of? And someone called him with the word gnat, and Hacker went with K-N-A-T. That's an easy one.
I feel like every time I come in for crosstalk, we have a hacker
You learn something
impersonation.
new.
I learned something new, and there's a hacker
archives.
impersonation from one of us.
There was a time where I had a narrow esophagus.
All right, Mia O'Brien, what is coming up today on Helmets and Heels?
Oh, a whole heck of a lot. Our tour of the AFC South ahead of OTAs kicking off begins in earnest. Our friend Angela Morian of Wish TV going to stop by at 12:30 to give us the very latest, not only on the Indianapolis Colts. She, of course, is also covering the Indiana Pacers NBA run, and a little gal by the name of Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever. So we may ask a question or two about that, as well as some IndyCar racing, because that's in full swing, too. Of course, we'll hear from Wyatt Milam, who I got to catch up with at practice on Saturday, and a whole lot more from Jaguars rookie minicamp and beyond.
All right, Pacers looking tough right now.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I said to her, I was like, look, obviously we're having you on to talk Colts, but, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that RJ and I are going to have to sneak in a Pacers
That is a well-balanced team.
And it's good for college basketball, because a lot of those guys were disregarded as, they're a good college player. I don't know if they're going to be a good NBA player. And they got a lot of pieces that work to be a great sum of the pieces.
Well, you have a great show.
You
and
too,
put all
gentlemen.
your pieces together.
And well done on the Boselli interview. I just walked past our two multimedia hubs here at 1010XL World Headquarters, and they were all sitting on their laptops banging on it. So all of the content is being created.
Multimedia team does a great job. Appreciate them. Thank you, Mia. And stick around. Helmets and Heels coming up with Mia and Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl. In moments. So there you have it, Tony. That's a good way to start the week right now.
That was fun, yeah.
Now, was it last week we asked what are your 5 biggest remaining questions about the Jags? And a question is kind of like a concern, right? Like, how is this going to work out? Okay. I think tomorrow, because Tony Smith's going on vacation next week, right? So this is a good one to get in before you go on vacation on a high note. What are your top 5 reasons for optimism for the 2025 Jacksonville Jaguars? And I'll post that officially this afternoon, but if you want to play along with the Tuesday top 5, you can start thinking of it in that vein if you would like. All right, that is going to do it for us today. Glad we could bring you some of the thoughts of Liam Cohen, Travis Hunter, Wyatt Milam, and yes, Tony Baselli. Appreciate him very much for joining us live here on Jaguars Today. So for Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Stick around for Helmets and Heels. Jaguars Today returns tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.